All right. Just recording has started. Before we go into a webinar, I'd like to remind you that for some housekeeping rule. Any question and comment are more than welcome. So if you have a question during the session, please don't hesitate to enter your question into a question and answer display or the chat menu. If you enter your comment in chat menu, this will be viewed by everyone in the guest. If you enter your comment in a question and answers, it's kept as private, so only I can see your questions. So let me start. So again, we will start a new product launching of Mimaki's UJF platform series, which has launched 6 months ago globally. So to begin with, Mimaki headquarters in Japan, and us globally, we launched in later 2021 the 4 different platforms as our latest technology with a UV printing system. We have a wide format printing system, which is JFX600. We will cover this product in as a webinar. Also, 3D UJ2207. This is a very unique and niche market for 3D printing with a full color applications. So today's focus is 2 products in the bottom of a display, our UJF range, UJF-MKII series and the UJF-7151+II series. So we are going to explain this product for today. All right, just in general, having us 4 different platforms regards to UV printing system. If you look at the left-hand side, the corner product, we have UJF range, which is very unique, small to middle size of flatbed, the printing bed, which works for the more to novelty and promotional printing application. So, for example, smartphone case, promotional goods, and control panels, and 3D model signage. JFX series is a grand format flatbed, the large size signage, furniture and decors for doors and window printing, and photo panels with the wide format application. UV roll-fed printing, UJV series and UCJV series. They are the roll-to-roll printer, which is 64 inches wide, which works for banner and generic signage printing and labels. And lastly, 3D printing as well. In general, the Mimaki UV printing benefit as a printing solution, we support more than 2 types of ink for any UV printers, except for 3D printing. But for flatbed printing and the vinyl and roll-fed printing, we support more than 2 types of ink as always for 2 main applications. We will go over this later on. And Mimaki has got the whitest white ink with UV in the market. We provide one software, which is Rastering series, comes with all printers, and you can plug for any Mimaki printer from one software. We support most of the UV product. We support a clear the varnish ink to increase the variety of a printing product. So let's go over more details of the product portfolio regards to our UJF platform. So the product portfolio as of today, in this graph in the display, we have from a left-hand side to a right above corner as an entry model to a more precision model. As an entry model, we have UJF-3042FX, which was released more than 10 years ago, but still it's known as the most economic product in the market, and which works for the entry, the market entry, low volume product applications. In the middle range, we have the new UJF-3042 or 6042 Mark II E model, which is a minor change model from a Mark II model in the market. And at the highest range, we have UJF-7151PlusII model, which is a major change from our current 7151 Plus model with additional heads and other functionalities. So having those, the 4 different products, we are today in a promotional printing market. So I'd like to summarize the what's new in a UJF Mark II E model to begin with. So there are 2 unique points that's been minor changed from my existing Mark II previous model to an E model. This small e in the model name stands for enhanced model. So it's not really the major change from a previous model. However, there are really lots of small changing in order for supporting a customer for advance and expand their printing needs in the market. So the first change is a smooth gradation image quality with MFD Mimaki Fine Diffusion version 2 half toning control in the image quality. The second difference is by having the newest rastering RIP software, Rastering 7, which comes standard with every Mimaki latest model, that it has a variable data printing functionality without having any additional software purchase. So you can do the variable data printing with having only one software, which is rastering. Just for general understanding, before we go into more technical details, the UJF, Mimaki's UJF series always has advantage from our competitors, having a color head, CMYK, and having a white head staggered position. From a back side, we have CMYK head, and the front side, we have a white head. By having those print head configuration, you can print 2 layers, which is CMYK and white layer, which is the 2 separate layers, without having the 2 different jobs. So you can do one job, you can print one job, and without sacrificing a printing speed with a CMYK, you can put a white ink on an underlay or overlay. So in general, this is this is the advantage of a Mimaki UV product for in general, not only UJF model but other models as well. So we have 3 different models in a UJF Mark II-E range. We have 3042 Mark II-E, we have 3042 Mark II-EXE, and UJF 6042 Mark II-E model. So we have 2 different models in the 3042 and 1 model in the 6042. Let me tell you what's the advanced difference. So UJF 3042 Mark II-E has only 3 print heads, and Mark II EXE model and 6042 Mark II-E model has 4 print heads. Having 1 additional print head, you are able to support 2 channels of white with a double density. Also, you can put a clear and primer ink, which is additional 2 spot colors. Or alternatively, you can add light cyan and light magenta in the first print, which in additional print head, in order to print the photorealistic quality image for particular applications. So having 1 additional ink type, you have lots of different options for the ink set in order to cover the wide range of applications. Regards to a new half-toning image controlling system, which is the Mimaki Fine Diffusion MFD2, what it is we have been controlling this half-toning with our previous model, and since long time, having two different half-toning control. One is a standard half-toning, and second one is MFD1 control. So the difference between standard and MFD1 is it's either you can make a gradation and a skin tone better, or you can make a solid color better. However, you need to take one of the other in order to perform the quality you want. The new Mark II E series supports Mimaki Fine Diffusion version 2, MFD2 half-toning control. How it works is it's kind of the between the standard half-toning and MFD1 control. So you can still get the sufficient quality for half-toning, skin tone, and gradation control. Also, you have a certain performance result of the solid color part. So let me tell you what's the difference we've made. So from a generic test chart, it's very hard to say what the differences are. However, if you really get closer, look closer, which I think you are not able to see the look through from a camera. However, from standard definition and MFD1 and MFD2, the skin tone is actually getting the same quality as standard the diffusion. And if you look at the solid color, which is a mixture of a CMY, cyan, magenta, yellow, you actually have the more smooth toning, without having the serious grayness. Let me tell you about variable printing, which can be achieved by a rastering 7 RIP software. As some of you may already know what variable printing and what the functionality is for. The variable printing can be used mainly for the name card or name badge or member card printing purpose, or the sportswear uniform printing purpose. For example, for the membership card or the credit card application. So basically, if you would like to print the unique image, like the person's photo for individual cards, but the card design is the same for everything. So you don't need to prepare the individual data with a different person's name or the membership number, as well as the template data. However, you can just prepare the one template data, and you can put the person's name and number, as well as the location of the image data of the person's face, in order to combine the data to print serializedly. So how it works is you prepare the template data, and you prepare the Excel spreadsheet converted to the text format to show the name, numbers, phone numbers, email address, as well as the local location within a C drive for where the person, the photo, the face photo is locating. So the rastering will actually combine individual data and the template data together to make individual card printing in one shot. So which still can be achieved by a certain software in the market. However, the benefit with rastering 7 is you do not need to buy additional software to do this. So for more details about how it works and how to operate, please check out the webinar of myself, the YouTube channel Tomomitsu Harada, and you can see lots of the application, the webinar recording, and there's one the specific webinar which I was talking about the variable printing and how it works. which is pretty the good function, and it's easy to understand, easy to entry, and no complications. The Rastering 7 also supports the the connecting with the barcode reader for the jig the barcode jig data, which we have a separate plugin software which called the Jiglink, which you can download from Mimaki website free of charge. It's a license free. The Rastering 7 is able to print a barcode via barcode printer, not Mimaki printer, but barcode printer, in order to peel and stick into the template, in order to easily control the with the data connecting to a barcode to print. So you do not need to control hundreds of different data by manually. So please check out the Jiglink in the future. We don't have lots of understanding yet, but in the next couple of weeks and a couple of months, we will be engaging with this function to introduce more details. All right, that's basically it regards to the features and benefit on the the UJF-MKII. And now, before we go into a 7151 series, I'd like to give you a quick live demo for the UJF-6042 series. So let me change camera direction. All right. So here you can see in our showroom, we've got the 3 Mark II series. Starting from your left side, we have UJF-32 the Mark II model, which is a smaller bed, 30 centimeters by 42 centimeters. And it's a full covered, it's fully covered by transparent the table. Also, we have the bigger model, UJF-6042 Mark II, and we also have a previous model, UJF-6042 Mark II. As you can see, the difference between Mark II model and Mark II model, the body color is slightly different. The Mark II model, we have the originally white cover. However, this white cover can be yellowish after a couple of years. So that's the reason we added some of the gray color in order to look more pretty. The other difference is the shape of the front cover. The shape of the front cover on the 6042 Mark II is cornered, a little bit sharp cornered here. The 6042 Mark II, you have a nice carving shape on here. We have another difference on the outfit. Unfortunately, any of the white ink of the digital printing market needs to be shaken in every other day or every week or fortnightly, or at least it needs to be shaken. The previous model 6042 Mark II, the white ink is on the behind, so you need to always go back to behind, go back of the printer in order to take off, remove the white ink and to shake. But looking at the Mark II model, we've got white ink in the front side. So it's a little bit, of difference. However, you can just, access to a white ink in the front side here. Just take it off, just wipe a bit, and just shake for a couple of times, and put it back in. So inside the printing, well, you only need to shake the white ink of bottle because there are the 2 different white recirculation system built inside of the machine. One is shaking the primary ink tank, which is below the ink bottle slot. Also, there is another the white circulation system to recirculate the white ink for entire print head, including a sub-tank. So as long as you maintain the ink bottle shaken every couple of days, you don't need to worry about the white color changing or density changing because it's all automatically supporting with the recirculation. All right, I'm gonna give you some example of applications. As I explained in the beginning, that we have at least 2 types of ink available in any of the UV platform with us. UJF series supports 3 different ink types. LH100, which is a hard ink, which is more, the better scratch resistance and chemical resistance. So it's stronger for wiping, it's stronger for scratching. We also have LUS120 ink, which is more flexible ink. So flexible ink works for the, the printing on a rather phone case or the rather belt for more, the stretch or, bending purpose. So let me give you some understanding of the application. So for the hard ink, how it works is, for example, this is acrylic small signage printed with the, the black, the white behind, and the colors are sandwiched in other side of the acrylic. So we have crystal trophy, not a plastic, but a crystal trophy. So we've got the white ink here. If you scratch with your nail, the ink won't come off. So it's pretty, the good resistance for the ink. We also have, the phone application with a phone case. So we have, some people is doing the, gold foiling or silver foiling along with the, the CMYK ink, because we have a primary ink also available in order to make as a, glue purpose, and you can manually apply the gold or silver foiling before you start before you print with a CMYK. So you can make really multiple, the metallic the effect by only having silver foiling. We've got for the cosmetic, case printing. Also the belt. So the ink won't bend or ink won't crack by even we do this. We bend like this. Well, of course, some of the resin, old resin, it will break if you bend too much. So ink will break, when the resin breaks, but the ink won't crack until resin breaks, which is pretty good thing. So now I'd like to quickly show the the printing demo for clear acrylic, right? So you will have more understanding of how easy to print something on UJF. Of course, it's easy to print something on roll-fed printing, but when you come out, when you come to the end to print with the UJF series, after you get used to it, it's easy to print. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this onto the table, the bed. And close the bed. So make sure you close it because I know there won't be any small dust, comes onto the printing surface, right? So what you do on the machine side is, as always, you need to change the height of the media. You need to enter the height of the media. So machine supports up to 153 mil of the height. So if you see here, there are 2 shafts is connecting serial lines. This shaft is to lower the bed from highest, middle to lowest. Depends on what the thickness of the what's the height or depth of the printing object. If you're printing more than 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters of an object, you need to remove 2 and put back 1, so it goes to a middle. Or if you're printing more than 100 mil the object, you need to take them out So the bed can be lowered that much in order to print up to 153 mil. But today I'm just printing a 3 mil acrylic, so nobody's about the removing shafts here. So sometimes it starts clicking, under pumping because it's certain the pump the white recirculation, but it goes away pretty soon. All right, for head height, I'm gonna just set a 3 millimeters here. All right, after set it, you can go to vacuum to make sure that the vacuum is on. Sorry, I unplugged before, so let me just plug it back for vacuum. So the vacuum is really nice and silent, so it's not a loud vacuuming because it's just a computer fan. 2 pieces of computer fan is actually sucking the surface. Well, of course, you need to do advanced test print with the nozzle check and so on with just the piece of paper. I've done in the morning, so I won't do it again, right? So after setting a media, just set a remote. So the printer goes to a more connection mode. All right, for RIP software we've got the rastering software. So how you print the white and color, it's also easy because you do not need, as long as you print the same size of a white layer on the behind of front side, you do not need to create any white layer from Illustrator, from a design. So you can just automatically make a white layer from rastering. So I've got already a white layer ready. So I'm gonna just print now. So make sure your size is right. I'm gonna just put the A4 size. Print condition, I will just do the first mode, the 600 by 608 pass. So which should print like whole better the 2 minutes and a half. For A4 size, maybe it will print within a minute, but let's check out. Right, just bear with me. Well, I'm gonna just keep it open while it's printing, so you can at least see what's going on. The printer also, has an ionizer unit as an optional item. So when you have, when you are planning to print more to an acrylic piece or the plastic piece, which can happen, they are more electrostatic. The ionizer really support, the takeoff, remove electrostatic on time. So, you always need to consider to add this to the machine when you're purchasing or when you're installing. The machine has also the, the optional stand, which is dedicated and which is designed for UJF series. So make sure if you do not have your industrial stand at your installing location, make sure you purchase one. All right, it just starts printing, so please bear with me. On 6042 Mark IIe, in a showroom, the ink set is with a light cyan, light magenta, as well as CMYK and one white and one primer. So white is only one channel here. So we are not expecting to have we are not expecting so much, white density, but at least, the visible, white to cover the colored area. Okay, it's probably coming halfway. So give me another half minute to finish printing. All right, it's just finished, and let's just wait until the table comes front to be safe. All right, let's see how it comes out. So right here, it's just a one channel of a white printing. However, the density of the white is just enough. It's not too much, it's not too less, but just enough quantity, enough density of white. So see, how easy it is to print. All right, in the next project, I will move over to 7151. All right, I just moved out a camera for sec for UJF-7151 platform. Let me go from the education part. All right, regards to UJF-7151PlusII, which is the purely upgraded model of UJF-7151 Plus, and we still have Plus model and Plus II models. So both models are available because sometimes the people would like to have the low investment cost. So price difference is between about 8,000 USD or about 10,000 Australian dollars. So depends on the people's the investment expectation of investment level. We have two types of machine still available. However, I'm going to focus on Plus II model today. So the new functionality, the 4 points, 2 additional print heads. So total 8 heads, where the previous Plus model has 6 print heads. So total over 8 heads model, it supports light cyan and light magenta for total of the 6 colors of full color printing for the high quality and the high quality of half toning printing. Or additionally, we are able to support dual CMYK in order to make 190% of a speed from plus model or 4 color plus spot color model. Second, high precision printing bed. The printing bed is now has their 4 different motors to control instead of only one motor controls in the plus model, previous plus model. So that's the reason why we are able to support up to 30 kilograms of a media weight. So there are niche applications that the people would like to have the aluminum or the stainless or steel, the type of the jig, which easily goes up to 20 kilograms of a heavy duty the printing jig. So we are able to support that needs. Available ink type and color setting because two additional print head. We have more various ink type and ink color settings supported. Additionally, we have a new color printing function, which is a color gloss printing mode, which has many people already knew that the UV printing will make a surface as a texture of or as a matte. But this printing system, 7151+II, can make the glossy finish with only ink without having any laminate or without using a clear coat ink, the varnish ink. So I'm going to explain this as well. So before we go to more session, I would like to play one of the video. So please watch. All right, thanks for watching, and I'd like to go to the the rest of the session. So regards to 2 additional print heads, total of 8 heads, as an advantage, the printer can be set up. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Printer can be set up with a various ink set. So depends on if you'd like to do the 6 color plus 2 spot colors, or 4 color plus 4 spots, or 4 color double. So the person who installs the printer can slide the 2 print heads, which is a 3rd and 4th print head, from front side to back side, in order to decide which head configuration to use to cover the ink type for the customer. So just explain more details about why and how the people require the CMYK ×2, the 4 color dual, instead of having a white colors and clear and primers. The reason is this: for more industrial printing application, people has already been printing with a white or as a coating or as a pre-coating liquid by using a pre-processed machine from such as screen, part printing, and such. So more high-end or production people in a factory do not require the entire white ink to print by digital, but a digital printer to print faster and only CMYK graphic. For that type of the needs, the UJF-7151 Mark II, the 7151 plus II model that support two sets of the four colors, the dual 4-color mode. Regards to the capacity of the weight on the bed, the previous Plus model supports up to 10 kilos, and the new Plus II model does support 30 kilograms. So for the people in the industrial and factories who is using the high durable jig made by not plastic but more metal and wooden such, they can use those type of the industrial jig, and the printing bed works for that much of a weight. The machine supports by having two additional print head. The machine does support the much more various ink types for the application demand. All right, to begin with, the machine supports 3 types of the ink: LH100 and LUS120. If you'd like more rigid surface and the high resistance for scratch and the wiping with a chemical or Windex, those type of usage, they use the LH101, which is a hard ink. For your needs of printing on a rather belt or rather smartphone case for the bending purpose, use LUS120 ink. For thermal application, the heat thermal application for 3D signage, 3D applications, the LUS350, which is the flexible up to 350%, also available for that purpose. So that the type of number of the ink set, it depends on the ink type you are using. Start with the 4-color dual. 4-color dual ink set requires the ink to stick and ink to cure quickly. So we only have LH100 ink type supports 4-color dual. 4-color plus light cyan, light magenta is supported by LH100 and LUS120, but LUS350 does not produce light cyan, light magenta, so there is no light setting for LUS350. The white, clear, and primer is supported by LH100 and LUS120. And in addition, we have a silver ink for UV, which combined to LH100 ink. Lastly, I would like to go details regards to color gloss printing mode. Again, as you know, in general, the printing with the UV ink will leave the texture surface, so it normally does not become the gloss finish after printing. However, having a large size of the UV LED array on 7151 plus II model, it can do the more detailed control of UV to combine with the digital printing. So by having such a trick, you can instantly change with a normal printing to color gloss printing from a RIP software in one check, so that the final result of UV printing becomes more glossy without printing with overcoat, or without printing glossy the varnish ink. However, from our testing result in our research and development at the factory, we found out that the not so much media type will support this, but mainly we have the PET, the PET film that supports this color gloss print. Really works better. However, if you print on the generic vinyl for signage usage, the amount of the gloss on the color gloss printing will be reduced. So it is required to do an advanced test before committing a customer we can do for customers media for color gloss printing. All right, now I'd like to switch camera again in order to go over some details of a UJF-7151 machine. Bear with me. All right, here we've got two different models of a UJF-7151. So the white one on the back side is a 7151 Plus. The machine on the front side is 7151 Plus II. So first, you can realize that the color of the body, it's more white on the old model, and the newer model is more black and gray. If you're looking at the ink bay, the 7151 does support up to 6 colors. So you have a 3 and 3 on the left and right. The 7151 Plus II model does have a 4 on this side and 4 on other side because of 2 additional print heads. So if you look at the what kind of application does work for 7151, it's look at this. This is the plate for watch, the dial, right? In order to print the specific quality with this dial, you really need to have the good tolerance of a line, the small line on the horizontal and the vertical. If you try to print with a vinyl printer, it normally doesn't work. If you are trying to print with a UJF-6042 Mark II, it sometimes works, but it's not inconsistent. However, by using 7151 with the high precision machine, it actually works. So the people is using this for the the control panel or the monitor panel for airplane and ocean ships, such and such. Let me show you other samples here. This is a print sample by, it's probably hard to see the camera, see through the camera, but this is a print done by 6 colors, including light cyan and light magenta. So comparing to 4-color printing, it's really hard to see the grayness on a skin tone. There's a different sample about the color gloss. So the bottom side, this is no gloss surface, so it's only ink with no gloss, no color gloss printing. But the top side, this is the color gloss printing. So you can see the difference of how glossy it is. Unfortunately, this is done by our factory standard PET gloss the media. So I can't say that this function works for standard vinyl, generic vinyl, and the other types of the media. However, this is showing the result of applications. There are other functionalities, as long as you have used the 7151 Plus before, and you would like to, put another machine for 7151, how you use the machine is the same. It comes with a Rustering 7, the newest RIP software, but Rustering 7 also free upgraded from Rustering 6 Plus for certain customers, and you can connect the Rustering 7 to an old machine as well. So it's pretty, user friendly regards to the upgrading from existing customers. For new customer for 7151, you probably need a certain amount of the training. But in the machine, we include the 3 days installation training. So install to be 1.5 day and training to be 1.5 day. And it depends on the customers' demand. We can, of course, work on the enough training, extending training hours in order to support the customers. All right, I'm back here. So I would like to wrap up today's training. So I would like to, firstly, I would like to say thank you for your time today. We have, the more guests coming today than what I expected. I really appreciate your time in the middle of the week. And I would like to welcome your questions for next 5 minutes. You can enter your question. If you are not too shy, you can press the raise hand button on your right above the window. So I'm gonna put you on the live speaker to ask the question. And after these 5 minutes, you can remain for maybe 10 minutes while I'm here. I'm at this moment, I'm back at the Japan from Australia, and I'm at a factory today. So I would like to go quick factory tour on live. If you joined the webinar last week, it's the same thing. So you can, you don't need to stay unless you want to see again. But I'm gonna put in the next 10 minutes, next 5 minutes as a Q&A session. If there's no question to be asked, I will move to the factory tour. All right, I welcome the question, please. All right, I've got the first question. Thank you very much asking. The question is the old model UJF-6042 and 6042 Mark II still available besides the new E model? Let me answer this. Because the Mark II E model is still locating as the middle to high end of market, but I understand that there are lots of people still wants to enter the business, enter the market for this promotional printing. So in our portfolio, UJF Mark II series, which is before the minor change, it's not available anymore, because the functionality is 99%, well, 95% same as E model. Price is slight increase from previous model to E model. However, we are not holding two stocks, stock for two different models. However, we have 6042, not a Mark II model, but one model before, which is more entry model of entry model to to the market for a bigger version of the bed. So please ask your local Mimaki representative if you are interested to understand what is our full portfolio besides the new E model. Thanks for asking. Oh, and UJF-7151, as I said in within the session, after UJF-7151 plus II model is released, we still handle the UJF-7151 Plus, the previous model, because price gap is high, and the people still would like to get more 6-head machine for their needs. So we still have 2 models available. However, we don't hold so much stock for both models. So live stock in Australia is only available for the 2 models, the latest model, and the older model is a built to order. All right, any other questions? If you have, please. All right, probably we covered well for today. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. And we finish our session for UJF today. And I'm gonna stop recording now. And we go over to the factory tour in the same line. So please stay in line.